Hello, this is Andy Burt with Investment News TV, and I have the privilege today of talking with David Botset of Schwabb, and thank you for joining us. I'm really excited to have a chance to talk to you, and we've talked a little bit about these benchmarking surveys that are really informative about what you do. Curious to know, what are some of the biggest takeaways that you've learned this year?
You know, I think if we look at the survey data, that one of the biggest takeaways is the momentum that millennials are bringing to investing in ETFs. Right? Across those generational demographics, millennial investors have a ton of confidence that they're going to be able to outperform the market, and they love the ETF.
Mm-hmm. And what trends have you seen emerge over time? So when you've done some of these past reports and things like that, how do you see the arc of what people are telling you about the direction of things?
One of the things that really came out this year is the willingness to do active within an ETF. We're seeing that in the flows. About a third of the $1 trillion in flows to ETFs this year have gone to actively managed strategies. The increase in the number of available actively managed ETFs is really taking root. So investors are looking at, how do I use cap-weighted index? How do I use smart beta alongside active to build a diversified portfolio to help me meet my needs?
Yeah, that's definitely something that we've observed as well at Investment News, is just the increase in the active ETF market. What do you think is driving this trend?
It really gets back to cost in many ways. You know, investors had been for the past few years, have been going away from the active mutual fund. I don't think it's the active strategy they're trying to get away from, it's helped reduce costs. And active ETFs have helped to bring down the cost of accessing active, making it more palatable for the investor.
Mm-hmm. And in the midst of just sort of the uncertainties that the markets have been showing us, and certainly leadership within Schwab has been talking about that all week, how does that trickle down to the way you think about what you're doing?
Well, we really try to take the long-term view, right? I think the thing that investors really suffer from is when they try to overreact to market events. We actually see that in the survey data. We ask them, how would you react to certain economic or other factors going on? ETF investors have a lot of confidence, and in most cases, they're demonstrated that they lean into that. Look at that as more of an opportunity to invest versus retracting and really changing their allocations.
Yeah, and I know your CEO talked a little bit about, but we don't want it to turn into like a sports betting kind of experience, but you still want to make sure you lean into the right kind of risk. How do you balance that?
Well, I think it's having people focus on the core of their portfolio and focus on the long term, right? The data shows that many of the ETF investors are actually buy and hold type of investors. Not what you'd necessarily think. When you think about ETFs, it's ability to trade, the ability to enter and exit. But the data shows that's not always the case. They're frequently holding those for longer periods of time.
Mm-hmm. So looking ahead to 2026, what are some of the hurdles that you may be looking at to make sure that your clients are best prepared to deal with?
2026, well, it'll be interesting to see what comes in 2026. One of the areas is a focus on, how do I rebalance my portfolio back to my long-term strategic allocations? We've seen a huge run up in equities, right? And if people aren't rebalancing back, it's a way to really sell your winners and buy your losers. It helps you get back to that level of tactical, long-term strategic allocation. It actually can help performance in the long term. So it's helping them remember, all right, I may not want to ride this wave too much further. I may want to bring that back to where I want to be long term.
Excellent. David, thank you so much for your time, and a final word from you before we go.
Well, I just appreciate the time and really look forward to hearing more from Investment News.
I appreciate that. David, thank you so much for your time. My name is Andy Burt, and this is Investment News TV. Thank you.